Well, those that said post-Brexit you wouldn't see other countries looking at an EU exit, completely wrong yet again. In fact, of course, we've seen Eurosceptic parties election after election in Europe actually making substantial gains. And in terms of Sweden, some really interesting developments, increasing talk of a potential Swedish exit from the EU. Now, this is being driven by the Sweden Democrats. And make no mistake about it, this isn't some small fringe party. This is a party that got over 20% of the vote. It got 73 seats and, in fact, was the most popular party in Sweden on the right at the last election. And what they're seeing, of course, is the reality of EU membership, is that you're getting things forced on you from Brussels, including the EU Migration Pact. We've seen the Sweden Democrats speak out, saying they will not accept that Swedish voters' power over migration policy is handed to politicians and bureaucrats in Brussels. That was a statement from the Sweden Democrats leader there, Jimmy Åkesson. And there's now increasing talk from the Sweden Democrats about leaving the EU, talking about needing to take steps to prepare for leaving the EU. And in a joint article, the Sweden Democrats leader, Jimmy Åkesson, and the Sweden Democrats MEP Charlie Reimers saying only the knowledge that every decision on the transfer of power must be submitted to the citizens would slow down the worst abuses from Brussels. So they're talking about a potential referendum lock, also preparing to leave the EU completely, and saying in order for the preparedness to be credible, it's necessary that we remove the writings in the constitution that state that Sweden is a member of the EU, and very clearly ramping up for a potential exit from the EU, with Charlie Reimers talking there about this referendum lock, but ultimately Sweden needing to prepare to leave the European Union completely. And Charlie Reimers actually challenging opposition figures in Sweden, saying none of the critics in Sweden has presented a single concrete proposal for how Sweden should counteract further transfers of power to the EU. Well, the reality is, of course, with EU membership, the transfer of power continues. If you don't leave, you get swept up in it. But make no mistake about it, perhaps more talk in Sweden about leaving the EU than ever before. Let me know what you make of all of that in the comments below, guys. I will keep bringing you all the latest, of course, on this and so much more. So please do whack this video a quick thumbs up. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.